Good morning and welcome to the KR Daily Transmission. Good to be back with you. I'm a little bit late because I got something in my eye. That was interesting. Have you ever done that where you're getting ready and you just spray yourself with toner and then makeup gets in? It's like a whole thing. Well, that's what happens. So here I am having my human Friday morning. And that's okay. I'm really happy to be here live with you and welcome. So good. Chelsea saying that was her yesterday. So good morning, good evening, bonjour, bonsoir, wherever you are in the world. It's so good to be here with you. I'm just checking my phone here for today's. I love that. Good morning, human. Good morning, human. Ashley. Good morning, Muriel. Good morning, Corey. Hi, Amy. Good morning, Jeanette. So good to see everyone. Yeah, just the joy of being human, getting to roll with those moments. So anyways, I'm really happy to be here with you. This has been such an amazing week consecrated to the Magdalen rising codes within us. And it's so exciting. We've got so many people signed up for that Magdalen Rising ceremony that's happening this April 13th. If you haven't signed up yet, please reserve your seat for ceremony. Oh, Sophia, are you okay? Oh, Sophia just ran into a lit candle. Babes, are you okay? How's your whiskers? Wow, really is that kind of a Friday. But I'm still so happy. It's just one of those days. Oh, you're okay. Oh, are you excited that everyone's here on YouTube Live? Do you want to say hello? You do? Well, come on over here. Oh, she's doing that thing with her eyes. Oh my God, it's so cute. Anyways, so hi. Yeah, the link for the Magdalene ceremony is in the chat, and today is Q&A, Friday Q&A for our Magdalen Rising teachings, and we've gotten some cool questions that came in this week, and I'd love to share with you today's question. So today's question that got submitted. Hi, Susie. Hi, David. Good morning, Marisol. Aloha. I thought this was an interesting question. This person wrote in and said, I find Mary Magdalene intimidating due to her radical nature. At the same time, I feel aligned with her mission. I feel stuck. How do I move forward in connecting with her as a mentor and spiritual guide? Okay, like, cool question. And for me personally, Mary Magdalene is so dear to my heart. So any kind of confusion that I can be a part of dispelling for others about mentoring with Mary Magdalene as a spiritual guide is just like, it's my great honor and privilege. So thank you for writing in this question. Thank you for being so authentic and genuine and sharing that Mary Magdalene feels intimidating for you. So Mary Magdalene, there's a few reasons why you might feel intimidated. First of all, I mean, if you look at where she's positioned in the key code initiations, a key code 5, this really puts Mary Magdalene at a high level of leadership for initiating you into your leadership, because as we go through each of the key code initiations, you are walking closer and closer into your leadership. Did you know that? Like those first 3 key codes with Isis, Hathor, and Green Tara, that's clearing out all of the pain and all of the belief systems and all of the vows from other lifetimes that have kept you from believing in your sovereign divinity. Then you walk into that mystical communion with Mother Mary in the key code 4 initiation, and Mother Mary is guiding you in how to open your heart and how to really become a true divine parent, a mother for yourself. And by that point, you're starting to consider, not consciously, a lot of times it's not a conscious consideration, it's a subconscious and even unconscious processing, that the more you integrate your divine light, the closer you start to hedge your way towards your divine purpose, towards spiritual leadership. And we see that at the end of Mother Mary's chapter, where her teachings start to shift into, hey, destiny is a promise that you made to yourself. Like, your oversoul sent you here on a mission. Um, and so it moves from just the teachings about your personal development into this calling towards the end of the chapter, where she's helping you, she's coaching you, she's hedging you closer to Mary Magdalene, saying, like, you have a destiny to fulfill, and wait till you get to the next chapter of the Sophia Code, where you meet my spiritual daughter, Mary Magdalene. So, Mother Mary is preparing your heart to be initiated by Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene, I mean, we're talking about a woman who was teaching at the same level as Jesus, as a fully self-realized Christed being. The story that we receive in the Catholic context of Mary Magdalene is a lie. It's a composite of lies, like just straight up lies. If anyone if anyone on this feed has ever experienced defamation, which I have, where people literally write total lies about you and publish them, that's exactly what happened in the Bible with Mary Magdalene. It's like a classic case of character defamation, where somebody just decides, I'm going to write lies that have no truth to them at all. And smear campaigns. Someone wrote it. Maranthe writes in smear campaigns. The Bible decided to do a smear campaign on Mary Magdalene. That's the perfect way, a modern way to articulate that. So we're talking about a 2,000-year-old case of character defamation. And why would an institution want to, destroy a divine feminine figure like that to such an extreme extent? It's like, because she was so powerful, because her divine feminine teachings were rocking the ancient world. She and Jesus were performing miracles side by side together. That is something, if you have half of the human population subjugated, because in ancient times, like, women were literally considered less valuable than cattle. They've been, I mean, it wasn't really until about 100 years ago that women were considered anything beyond property of a man. So to trade, to sell, to marry off. And so, Mary Magdalene being extremely wealthy, a creative genius, ridiculously psychic, raised secretly in a divine feminine mystery school, she's the sole beneficiary of her family's wealth. I mean, we're talking about a figure that was so powerful that even after Jesus's ascension, she went on, she escaped to France, but then she continued her ministry, not just in France, but across Europe, and went on to build a bit of an underground empire, empowering women and entire communities before they were persecuted again. So we're talking about a woman that was ridiculously resilient, and of course, what is the number one way to steer people away from a public figure like that, but to make up lies about them? Because there's always going to be a part of the population that don't think for themselves, that feel more comfortably just following the narrative. Sound familiar? Given the times we're living in, talk about a cancel culture. And so I just want to preface that, very often I think when people come to Mary Magdalene, I've shared this in the Magdalene journey that's available here on my YouTube channel. There's so many like lies and false narratives and defamation that I think a lot of people new to Mary Magdalene feel as though they have to wade through to get to her. But if you read the Sophia Code and you read her chapter in the Sophia Code, you're going to meet Mary Magdalene free of all of that crap. You're going to meet her directly in the diamond light that she was from the moment of her birth, and for the duration of her life. Ooh, I'm feeling her so strongly here right now. Oh my God. Thank you, Mary Magdalene. Sending out the grace of her transmission reaching into each and every one of our hearts right now. So I'm grateful to be able to take this moment and clear up, like, okay, we're talking about a woman who was enlightened herself, was walking the earth as in her own right, as a fully self-realized Christed being. And who better to initiate us, right, into sovereign spiritual leadership, which is going to be which is our topic of our live event in Austin coming up in May, than Mary Magdalene. She was teaching Christ consciousness in such perilous times and succeeding. She was succeeding. Hey, you want to know if somebody's succeeding in teaching about Christ consciousness? They're by default, by the very virtue of bringing a light that bright into this world, they're going to be attacked. They're going to be lied about, right? And this is something we're going to talk about. I mean, look what happened in Joan of Arc. It's like, this is something we're going to be talking about in sovereign spiritual leadership, not to scare us out of our leadership, because I truly believe we're living in different times. I truly believe that because we're choosing to collectively embody our Christ consciousness, that collective energy and learning how to embody our higher self from a really empowered context beyond the duality of where we can get trapped into the spiritual battle of the duality. If we are embodying Christ consciousness from that seventh plane perspective, air dropping down, there's a level of invincibility that comes with that the Sophia dragons share about in chapter 13 of the Sophia Code. So this is the kind of sovereign spiritual leadership that Mary Magdalene is sharing about in the Sophia Code. And she even says in our chapter, she says, the techniques, the psychic protection techniques that she and Jesus had to employ when they were teaching live, and could have been, witnessed by Roman soldiers, by anyone, the Pharisees. She's saying she looked into the future and saw us and saw that the times that we were living in were going to be different, and the level of spiritual development that we are going to accrue as a collective, as a collective of earth angels, was going to be in such a way that it was like our collective awakening, our collective enlightenment was going to protect us in our spiritual leadership in ways that were exciting and definitely different from the times that Mary Magdalene was living in. There was so much secrecy. There was so much hiding that had to happen in her times. And I know that many of us feel censored and controlled by the narrative out there, but we still live in far more freedom than they did in their times. And so when you are feeling intimidated like this, I'm going to read this question again. I love all of this conversation happening in the chat. It's super cool to see everyone's thoughts and reflections. I'm going to read this question again that we received. I find Mary Magdalene intimidating due to her radical nature. At the same time, I feel aligned with her mission. I feel stuck. How do I move forward in connecting with her? So, first of all, Mary Magdalene she's already connecting with you. All right. So you don't have to wonder or worry about if she's reaching out to you, because if you are interested in the Sophia Code as a platform, I mean, we are a platform, dedicated to this Magdalene lineage and to the truth of Mary Magdalene's ministry. The entire Magdalene lineage, even, beyond just Mary Magdalene's legacy. And so you are already being connected to Mary Magdalene just by your interest in being here. She's speaking to you by finding this video, watching this video, and learning more about the resources that we have that support your direct connection with Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene shares in the Sophia Code that she is activating you as a vehicle of awakening for others. So why do we mentor with the ascended masters in the Sophia Code? And I mean genuinely mentor. Like, this isn't like, you're my spiritual guide, tell me what to do because I'm dumb and you're smart. It's like, when we say mentor, what we're saying is like, these are master teachers that are of course they just simply went ahead of us so that, so that they could become the mirrors with their own experience, to guide us in our own awakening journey to the same mastery within us. Like, the Sophia Code shares that Mary Magdalene and all the ascended masters view you as an equal. And I think a lot of people are more intimidated by the fact that they love you that much, they believe in you that much, they see your sovereign potential, in a way that we often minimize and try to back away from. It's just like, that's what you're really intimidated by. You're intimidated by how good it is. You're not intimidated by her radical nature. You're intimidated by the fact that her mirror of how powerful she stepped into her radical spiritual leadership is inviting you into that same knowing about yourself. Mary Magdalene doesn't have anything that you don't got. All right. Like, Mary Magdalene is a mirror for that voracious, passionate, lightning energy of your own soul that came here to shine as an angel in human form, that came here to embody the same Christ consciousness that she and Jesus embodied. It's just that simple. And so when we are, approaching that Key Code 5 initiation, the Sophia Code, when we are, feeling into her love for us, one of the easiest ways to kind of soften the resistance, calm the ego structure down, really feel some compassion for yourself, you can think about Mary Magdalene as the coolest big sister you could ever have. Like, I know I always wished I had a big sister. And then I realized that Mary Magdalene really filled that role for me the way Mother Mary really filled the role for me, for a mother figure that I so desperately needed in my development. These spiritual ascended masters are just so available. The Sophia Code shares there, you can call upon them 24 hours a day in prayer and meditation. And when you complete these initiations, what happens is they are promising that they're going to be with you and walk with you every single day. So you can big sister Mary Magdalene, let her be your super cool big sister where you wish you could do her hair like her, wear her clothes, do your makeup like her, date the guy that that she's dating. Like, you want to be like Mary Mags, like, that's how you can sort out this, honestly, it's full of crap intimidation, because Mary Magdalene's strength and her lightning consciousness and her passion and her intuitive gifts, it's just like, they're a mirror for you. And what happens when we allow ourselves to look up to a mentor or to a model, eventually we grow into our own skin. We grow into our own dragon scales. We grow into our own empowerment, the way they're modeling that empowerment for us. It's just like, that's the way it's meant to be, not some like weird, like, okay, I don't want to bash the guru model, because there are certain ancient models of the guru disciple relationship in ancient times, and even with Yogananda, that was very helpful for people. But like, this is not a guru platform. These ascended masters don't want to be your gurus. They want to be your best friends. They want to be relevant spiritual guides they want to be your spiritual family, because they are your spiritual family. So like, when we claim that for ourselves, a big thing happens. Number one, your self-esteem starts to grow. You start to recognize your true self-worth. You start to value yourself, because you're like, oh my God, if Mary Magdalene's my big sister, Mother Mary's my mother, Green Tara is like, some cosmic I don't know, superhero family member, if like white buffalo women, the sky grandmothers are your, they're your ancestors, like what kind of lineage are you coming from? You're coming from a lineage of superstars. What does that say about you? It says everything about you. And this is why I share about the Sophia code day in and day out. It's just so special what it says about you, what it says about us. The Sophia code, Mary Magdalene's transmission, it's an invitation to stop minimizing yourself, stop hating yourself, stop sabotaging yourself, stop denying yourself, and get inside of yourself. Open those wings up, open your heart. Discover how good it is to love yourself, to value yourself, to celebrate yourself. From that place, you're going to experience life from a completely new context. And even better, you're going to start to expand in your consciousness, which is going to expand out through your physicality. And you're going to be able to download more and more of the divine consciousness of your higher self in such a way that think about all that divine light flowing into your life and how much that starts to shift and change the circumstances of your life. What if the circumstances of your life were no longer intimidating? Let's turn this question around. I feel intimidated by Mary Magdalene, but I feel drawn to her mission. I feel stuck. What do I do? It's like, what if your relationship with Mary Magdalene turned your relationship with life around so that life no longer felt intimidating? It actually felt like an adventure, right? An adventure where you get to discover how powerful, magnificent, talented, gifted, beloved you really are. Oh my God, wings up. So I want to thank you for taking this moment to explore this really great question about Mary Magdalene. And I want to thank you so much for such a fabulous week together. Oh my God, we had so much fun together this week. And, this energy with Mary Magdalene, I think we're going to stay within this energy leading up to the, the leadership, both our leadership conference in Austin. Well, okay, today's April 1st. So our new topic for April, which is perfect, with this Jupiter Neptune astrological conjunction, is leadership. And I want to thank each and every one of you for exploring creativity and communication. This month of March, this past month, it was so much fun for me. And I actually had, like, personally, so many creative breakthroughs, and as well as communication breakthroughs, because we went on this journey together. So thank you for being a part of my journey just as much as you've welcomed me to be a part of your journey. It's so special. And here we are, focusing in April on leadership during this very powerful astrological conjunction that's perfectly aligned with this topic. And I wanted to let you know that we're going to continue to focus on these Magdalene teachings right up until the Magdalene Rising ceremony. I think it's very appropriate. And what's great about that is we can talk about teachings from Joan of Arc, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and the entire order, angelic order, being in which you are a part of, the Earth Angel order. So how do you feel about that? Do you love that idea? We'll just stay in this Magdalene Rising energy until the ceremony. If you like that idea, put a yes in the chat, or a heart, or whatever you want to feel to celebrate that. And I have a special announcement. We've gotten so many requests about and questions about the Magdalene Jewelry Collection this week. We're going to do a flash sale this weekend on the Magdalene Jewelry Collection. That includes pieces from Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Joan of Arc, and I think you're going to just love what's there. So go ahead and check out that Magdalene collection this weekend. It's going to be on sale. And be sure to sign up for that Magdalene ceremony, Rising ceremony. And thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. It's been such a beautiful week to be here with you. We'll see you all back here for the KR Daily Transmission on Monday at Kaia Ra Official. Have a wonderful, blessed, and restful weekend. Remember to unplug from the news and plug into your source with your wings up, angels. All my love to you. Namaste.